Piedmont Triad area weather. Abundant sunshine coming our way for today. That afternoon high right around 93. Throughout this evening and into the overnight hours, it looks like we will have a system ushering in scattered thunderstorms, and some of these may produce some heftier rain. Overnight low at 70. On and off again, chances for showers with thunderstorms possible by Friday afternoon into Friday night. An active time here, and our Friday high backing down into the upper 80s. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Naramore. For News Talk Sports for the Triad, WSJS.
Energy, push it to the max.
Hey, it's Josh Graham here. While I still call the Triad home, the show's gone national. You can catch me tonight right here on WSJS. Plus, you can catch me on the weekends, 4 to 7 p.m.
Let me see you match my energy.
Don't miss the up-to-the-minute scores and hot takes on everything sports on News Talk Sports for the Triad and the home of Josh Graham, WSJS.
Head to Crossroads Ford of Kernersville for the summer sales event. 0% financing for 36 months, plus $1,000 towards your down payment and a 2-year premium maintenance plan. Let me repeat that. 0% financing for 36 months, plus $1,000 towards your down payment and a 2-year premium maintenance plan. It's only during the summer sales event going on now at Crossroads Ford of Kernersville, the Ford store that gives you more. Right off I-40 and 421 on Highway 66.
Good morning, Triad, and welcome to the Daily Pulse with Steam Back. Get ready to dive into the stories that matter most, the headlines shaping your day, the conversations everyone's having, and the local perspective you won't hear anywhere else. Your front row seat to the voices, issues, and energy driving the Triad. The Daily Pulse starts now on WSJS.
When the ACC failed, a couple of teams and a Triad venue stepped up. Now, they're all headed back, I think, in the right direction. We'll share it with you here this morning on a brand new Daily Pulse here on WSJS, our radio feed for the Triad Talk Network, and that's triadtalknetwork.com, where you can also, right there on the homepage, tap us up on the video feed right in the middle. Super easy. You can also do that on YouTube, youtube.com/@triadtalknet, and you can also set little reminders for that way you won't miss anything when we go live in the mornings. We've got a great couple of hours ahead where a little bit later we're going to be joined by the play-by-play man for the Charlotte Hornets, Sam Farber. They've had a busy offseason, and some marquee matchups have been announced for the NBA schedule that was released, I think it was last week. So we look forward to welcoming him in. We're going to have a big conversation around AI data centers in just a little bit, because in one area, not too far away actually from where we sit today, AI data centers are offering up a huge payday just for the everyday man. And so my question is, would you take it? Would you consider it? Would you accept the offer on the table? It would be awfully difficult not to. And one other thing I want to get to, who is the human printer? That's the name, or at least the so-called nickname of one person that is, I've seen her all over the place. She's been catching a lot of attention. So we'll share that with you too. If you are unaware and you don't know who that is, hey, that's coming up here on a brand new Daily Pulse. Let's get it all started though this morning with your latest headlines.
Pulse check. It's what's happening right now.
Well, looky here. We've heard this before, but a heat advisory is back in place again today, and severe storm risk. The heat advisory covers much of the eastern Piedmont, Sandhills, Coastal Plain, Triangle area, a good portion, a good swath of the eastern part of our state here in North Carolina. Scattered afternoon and evening storms could also produce damaging winds, they say. The Storm Prediction Center places parts of our state under marginal or slight severe weather risk Some areas today, heat index near 100 degrees. Anson County's recently appointed interim elections director, Gerald Poplin, resigned for medical reasons now. The county has now lost 3 directors in 2026 as election officials prepare for the November midterms in this state. And finally, the Defense Department selected NC State to lead Future Techs, a proposed decade-long collaboration involving universities, community colleges, nonprofits, and manufacturers. That initiative will focus on advanced materials, automated manufacturing, workforce training, and domestic supply chains for items ranging from uniforms and parachutes to fibers used in aircrafts, drones, and missiles for the military. We mentioned NC State there. Man, I'll tell you, this is not an advertisement for the Greensboro Coliseum, but they have some huge events coming up in their fall going into winter schedule that I'm personally really excited about. The first off is that the Carolina Hurricanes are playing an exhibition game there on ice in Greensboro, a bit of a homecoming reunion for our Hurricanes team that just won a Stanley Cup. They're playing the Nashville Preds, so you get a little bit of a regional rivalry kind of matchup there. And I don't care if it's an exhibition game. That was like my childhood wrapped up in a present right there. It was me and my family going to the Hurricanes games in Greensboro after they had shortly moved that franchise from Hartford to here. I played hockey a little bit coming up until I got into my teen years. So, yeah, that's a pretty cool event happening out there. But the other one, and by the way, I know it's First Horizon Coliseum or whatever they're calling it now, but for me, it'll always be Greensboro Coliseum. Yesterday, huge announcement for them again that UNC and NC State are set to host what they're calling the Tobacco Road Classic game, giving those two teams a second meeting for the upcoming college basketball season. It's going to take place this year and also next season. And bravo to anybody and everybody that decided to make this happen. It should have happened naturally. Honestly, I'm going to say today it should go a step even further, and it should be an annualized event that is called the Big Four. I don't know how many people may or may not remember that, but once upon a time in the ACC land, UNC, NC State, Duke, and Wake met regularly. All of them in a tournament stylized event that for our area, well, I would say even for the full college basketball landscape at the time, had to have been one of the biggest marquee events that was around. And I would say, man, let's bring that back. The super conferences and the ACC being right in there with conference realignment discussion, like a school such as Cal or SMU being in there. I understand it. I have come to grips with it. I'm not going to be that old guy sitting on the porch screaming, "Get off my lawn," because I don't think that really actually is going to change anything. So while I stomach it and I accept that this is the new reality, I don't think that we can't still circumvent some of that and make our own old, good, feels good times events. That's what I'll say it. It's a way that for regionally here, locals close to home, all these teams, their rivals, their fans, the people that have donated, I'm sure, significant amounts to these NILs. This is the kind of stuff that a fan really wants to see. We want to see a UNC play an NC State, so that way when we go to work the next day and whatever our favorite team is in that equation, if they happen to win, that's bragging rights. We want to have that conversation. We have family at the dinner table on special holidays that went to one of those rival schools. So I say, thank goodness that smarter heads prevailed here, because the ACC failed us in this situation. The ACC, when they expanded to 18 men's basketball teams, they designated home and home rivals. And yeah, they designated the right one for UNC, and that's Duke. Those two together, they should play home and home every single year. I'm not disagreeing with that. Wouldn't change that one way. For NC State, it's Wake Forest. I don't think that's awful either. Those two can play annually, home and home, sure. But to then select what other programs throughout the course of the ACC conference schedule that you're going to play or happen to play twice, and to leave UNC not playing NC State twice, I think that's a fail all the way around. And I don't care if the commentary around that decision is, well, it has to be balanced, it has to be fair, it has to be open. They could take the lottery system on the discussion and act as if they're just pulling balls that pop up to the top. Oops, surprise, NC State. Sorry, you don't get to play UNC but once this year. That game is, by the way, before this announcement, set to take place in Chapel Hill. Last year was the first time that these two schools only played once since 1919. So they can pretend like, we're just doing this based on the draw, the luck of the draw, but you can rig that one. I'm gonna take a stance here and say, yeah, just take a page out of the NBA's lottery system with their draft. That thing doesn't always seem like it's just the luck of the draw or that it's fair and balanced. It seems like something's been rigged, something's been fixed there. If they want to take this stance of we're going to pick and choose, or we're going to switch up how many times you play a different school in the conference schedule for the ACC, they can rig that all day long and say, okay, NC State, UNC, you're getting two meetings no matter what. We don't really care. That's the way it's going to go. So I again say, thank goodness somebody, I don't know if this is NC State and UNC, I think it is, because they had to decide we want to mark this on our schedule as a non-conference game, which, by the way, when it comes to metrics and you're trying to play games that'll benefit you later if your resume is close for the selection committee with the NCAA tournament. I mean, I think you're safe playing a UNC if you're NC State. And I think Justin Gainey will, well, based off of at least what he's been able to do on the transfer portal and recruiting, I think he's got this team actually headed in a much better direction. Hard to say that super early here, but I think those are safe bets when you're starting to make a non-conference selection. So I really think it comes down to Michael Malone, Justin Gainey, the athletic directors from both schools saying, yeah, we're going to go ahead and allow this to be a non-conference game put on our schedule, which I love that. And then taking it a step further, it's like a big time promoter stepping in and saying, whew, they are, I don't know, they're drooling at the mouth on this one. This is sellout all the way. It'll be the first regular season NC State UNC game in Greensboro since 1979. And that was one of those older Big Four tournaments that I still say, bring that back. Let's just do the whole thing. Yesterday, right from this area, Greensboro, head coach of the Wolfpack, Justin Gainey, talked about this announcement.
It'll be special. It'd be like a home game for me. It'd be a home game for me. I get to get back home and be in the Greensboro Coliseum, First Horizon, Coliseum. That's going to take some getting used to, but it's special. It's special. I have so many memories of this place, in this place, ACC history, as a fan, as a player, and now embark on history and memories as a coach. So yeah, it's special.
Yeah, it's going to be, for all of us, Justin, it's going to be a really special game. And like I said, that one's coming up in December 15th, the announcement made yesterday there for the Tobacco Road Classic. As we go to our break here, when we come back, man, if you thought promoters were looking at this event and saying, I can make serious money off of that, well, just an everyday man. They're getting offers from data centers now that I want you to consider. Would you take it? Because that's a buzzword right now, data centers. That'll be next on the Daily Pulse.
Rob Zombie.
I feel so good, I feel so numb, yeah.
Marilyn Manson. One night, one stage in pure shock rock energy. This Monday night, August 24th, True Lion Amphitheater, Charlotte. Listen to WSJS for your chance to win tickets or enter online at WSJS.com. Don't miss the Freaks on Parade, Rob Zombie and Marilyn Manson.
Mike Rowe here with another fun fact. If your concrete is cracked or uneven, you can actually lift it back up. Whether it's a sinking driveway, a patio, or a sidewalk, do yourself a favor. Call Groundworks. I spent some time working with these guys. They're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to lift your concrete slabs. Tar Heel Basement Systems is now Groundworks. Schedule a free inspection.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Back to school means back to prayer, and there's a great prayer for our youngsters right there in the good book.
This is True Commentary with Stu Epperson, author and host of Truth Talk Live.
2 Thessalonians chapter 3, those first 5 verses offer an for our kids. We have the opportunity to put power behind our youngsters, to cover them in prayer. Prayer is so powerful. Why? Because God is so powerful. At first, Paul says, pray that the word of God would move swiftly and have an impact. We are ambassadors carrying the word. Faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the word of God. Our kids are to be witnesses, and we are behind them praying for that, and also that they would be protected. Protected from evil, protected from wicked. There's also a defensive covering of prayer that we are to pray. It's all in those first 5 verses of 2 Thessalonians chapter 3. Pray it and watch this be the best back to school ever for our youngsters as lives are changed by their witness.
Join Stu on radio, social media, and his daily Truth Talk Live podcast. Learn more at truthnetwork.com.
The Cookout Southern 500. The chase for the next NASCAR Cup Series champion starts here. The NASCAR Chase Weekend at Darlington Raceway, September 5th through 6th. Get your tickets now at darlingtonraceway.com.
That first time seeing my son, I feel like my life did a 180. He really a definition of like why he loves somebody.
Through all of fatherhood's first, never stop being a dad. Visit fatherhood.gov to hear more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Hi, this is Todd Starnes. Join me at 12 noon for the Todd Starnes Show as we dive into the latest in politics, faith, and culture news. You'll hear from top newsmakers and have the chance to share your thoughts.
Tell me something.
Don't miss out on the conversation that matters to you. Make the Todd Starnes Show your home for insightful discussions and lively debates on News Talk Sports for the Triad, WSJS, and WSJS.com.
News, talk, and the Triad's Daily Pulse with Stephen Back.
Getting things rolling in gear here this morning on a new Daily Pulse. I'm Stephen Beck back with you now here on News Talk Sports throughout the Triad, a part of TriadTalkNetwork.com, at Stephen Beck TTN, and at Triad Talk Net, both on X, where you can also jump into our video feed this morning. I saw a post by Polymarket that popped up on social media yesterday, and it just simply reads, just in, data center developers are reportedly offering Virginia homeowners up to $4 million each, more than double their home's value, to make way for a massive data center campus. Data centers right now, they are like the buzziest buzz phrase that we've had. You either love it, you hate it. If you're in politics, you're probably really confused by what to do with it. if you're the data center people themselves, you got to be raking in the dough to be able to offer this type of this type of offer for homes in Virginia. And jury for me is still out. I really don't know. I don't think we fully have a grip on all the ill effects that could potentially come from this boom in data centers. There's lots of conversation centered around electrical use, water use. What does it do to the environment around us? I don't know. Are we going to start having kids that have like 5 heads and 25 toes that live near these things? I don't know. I think it's very much up in the air. But if I got offered $4 million each person to hand over the property where I'm at just so they can come in and put one of these up, that's got to be hard.
If I had $1 million, if I had $1 million,
Christian, what do? You got $1 million. If they're offering $4 million, you taking this?
I don't know. It's a very good offer, but I don't know. I really don't know.
I'm going to say this, and this is, well, I don't know. I was going to say I would take it in a heartbeat is what I was going to say. But then again, at the same time, I'm a homebody. Born and raised, High Point native, never really went too far away, local high school, and then, of course, attended High Point University. And hey, here I am still sitting here today. So it's kind of hard for me to even imagine, like, if this is some type of family land, maybe, and they, you get a knock on the door one day, somebody's standing outside with a suitcase full of hundos and 100,000s and whatever to get to 4 million. And they said, okay, get out today. Here's the suitcase. I don't know. There was a scene actually I'm thinking of right now from Yellowstone.
Mm-hmm.
And did you watch that?
I've seen a couple of episodes, yes.
Yeah. So in Yellowstone, there's a scene where they are, they're land and acquisitions, mergers of the said land. That's really what that whole series amounts around. Everybody wants basically that Yellowstone property to develop it, really. And there's a scene in that where actually the main character, well, she ends up even being a main character herself, but I was going to say Beth Dutton, she is helping to actually acquire land. I think that was kind of one of her jobs. And she shows up to this guy who, he doesn't want to move. Beautiful property. He's probably, I'm going to say, just like a 70, 80-year-old guy there. And she asks the question just blatantly, like, what's it going to take? Blank check. And he just throws a number out that he's thinking, they're never going to pay that. Well, Beth writes a check right there, hands it to him, and she's like, get off of my property. Just buys it from him right there. And that's kind of what this is kind of like. With that, what you're going to end up with, I think, is like this next image that we share with you on our video feed now. This is a drone view from the Markley Group data center in a residential neighborhood in Lowell, Massachusetts. So if they're going around in Virginia, knocking on doors, they scoop up whomever's property, because I would imagine there's going to be takers at $4 million each. Then you turn around, and if you're not the one that takes it, see, this is the other angle. Let's say you're just going to hold on to your principles and you're like, nah, no way. Sorry. This is my forever home, or this is the, near and dear family property to me, or, hey, I'm just anti-data center and I don't buy into all this kind of stuff. But let's say all your neighbors do. That's another concern. Then what do you do? Because you could end up being the one here in this drone shot that is just a street over. Your backyard is staring at a huge just building. I don't know, man. I found this really interesting, and as we got into this story here this morning, even again, just another thing popped up on social media. It said Virginia County expects $1.3 billion. Again, this is the same place where Poly Market reports they're offering $4 million each to get people to move. But a county in Virginia expects $1.3 billion haul in tax revenue from its 250 data centers, and now has become a model for the nation. There's like a full can of worms beyond this that my mind's blown with, to be honest with you. And at 7:30 in the morning, I don't think I can dissect that no matter how many cups of Foster Hobbs coffee I'm taking in. Who is the human printer? If you haven't seen her or this story, you're probably one of the few, because she's been everywhere, at least since one of the most recent announcements made out of the White House. We'll share that next with you. Stay with us. Daily Pulse on TTN.
The Triad Talk Network is the Triad's destination for all things. Everything that informs, entertains, and connects our community. From breaking news and smart conversation to hometown sports, championship teams, and today's biggest podcasts. The Triad Talk Network and WSJS delivers the voices and stories the Triad depends on. One destination, every conversation. TriadTalkNetwork.com.
The Rundown on Triad Talk Network. Christian brings the best local events in the area. And check out the Rundown blog each week on TriadTalkNetwork.com.
Piedmont Triad area weather. Abundant sunshine coming our way for today. That afternoon high right around 93. Throughout this evening and into the overnight hours, it looks like we will have a system ushering in scattered thunderstorms, and some of these may produce some heftier rain. Overnight low at 70. On and off again, chances for showers with thunderstorms possible by Friday afternoon into Friday night. An active time here at our Friday high backing down into the upper 80s. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Naramore. For News Talk Sports for the Triad, WSJS.
Hi, everyone. It's Brian Kilmeade. You're busy. I get it. But let's make some time for what matters. We'll dive into the latest breaking news, sports, politics, and entertainment. Your mornings deserve a fresh, unique wake-up call. So team up with me and my guests for lively debates and discussions. Tune in on WSJS and WSJS.com. Together, we're going to tackle the issues that all Americans are talking about.
Don't miss the Brian Kilmeade Show this morning at 9 on WSJS.
When the air gets heavier and the sun won't let up, turn up the horsepower. The Horsepower Heat Wave is back at James River Equipment. Take home the John Deere 2025R with loader for just $19,999 cash or $299 a month with 0% financing for 72 months. Need commercial mowing power? The Z930M is only $11,999 cash or $239 a month. Horsepower Heatwave only at James River Equipment. Ends 9/15/26. Subject to John Deere financial approval. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
A night of racing, remembrance, and giving back this Friday night at Bowman Gray Stadium. The inaugural Kyle Busch Invitational, a special night celebrating the life and legacy of Kyle Busch. A talented field of Legends drivers and Bandolero drivers will battle it out at the Madhouse. Every lap makes a difference, as all proceeds from the event will benefit the Bundle of Joy Fund. Get your tickets now at BowmanGrayRacing.com or at the gate.
We are here for you.
WSJS doesn't just broadcast your message. We drive it home. Our listeners are always tuned in, whether they're commuting or unwinding. Transform our loyal listeners into your loyal customers. With WSJS, your brand becomes a part of their daily routine. We deliver frequency, familiarity, and results. Don't let your brand get lost in the noise. Let's make your message unforgettable. Visit WSJS.com and click on Advertise with Us.
The Triad's heartbeat every day. Your daily connection to the heart, hustle, and headlines of the Triad.
Feel your heartbeat in electric chair.
Back to the Daily Pulse with Stephen Back, where you feel the rhythm of the Triad.
I'm celebrating this morning. You would say smarter brains have come to the table. Big announcement made in Greensboro yesterday. Yeah, I quantify it as a big deal, but I'm not wanting to stop there. Personally, I think let's take this thing even a step further. We'll revisit that, but if you missed it, NC State UNC, they're going to be playing a non-conference game at the Greensboro Coliseum coming up in December. So, like I said, we'll get back around to that. Plus, in some other sporting tidbits that we're going to cover yesterday, Rory McIlroy had some thoughts circulating around former LIV Tour players potentially coming back to the PGA Tour. Very, very contrasting to what world number one Scotty Scheffler shared. And if anybody really knows me, I doubt they could put a finger or guess as to who I would really side with on those comments. But no, we'll share it with you. For lunch today, I want to share with you now that you can get your lunch half off. That's right. At Bossy Beulah's in Winston-Salem, they have a sandwich combo deal right now that they want us to share with you. And all you have to do is use a code word, radio, to get it. Radio. You can do that at Bossy Beulah's in Winston-Salem or online. One of the sandwiches they have, a part of this deal, is one made with their all-natural chicken copain bun with mayo slathered on it from Duke's and some really good homemade pickles as well. You go into Bossy Beulah's in Winston, or you can order online using the code RADIO to get their sandwich combo. 50% off today. When Caroline Leavitt announced here just recently, I'd like to spend some time with my family. I'm going to step away from the White House. I still don't know. I haven't seen any other kind of rumored who's going to be the next White House press secretary. I think it needs to be Alina Habba. I think that's a pretty quick, easy plug right there, and decision done. Keep going, move forward. Without a doubt, no matter who that might be, though, there's another girl who I think she'll still be tagging right along with President Trump. And I myself, as just a very casual, like I don't watch politics and cover it night, day, Monday through Sunday. I had not seen her very much until, I'll say, since Caroline's announcement, the past, 4, 5, 6 days. Every time I flip on to a social media site, I feel like I see this girl named Natalie Harp. That is who they call, with a nickname, the human printer. Natalie is one of President Donald Trump's closest personal aides. Currently, her title is an executive special assistant to the president. And for those that probably follow politics all the time, definitely the ones that are covering this and they're in the briefing rooms all the time, they're around the president in the Oval Office, they're on Air Force One, I'm sure they've interacted with her. She's frequently seen immediately beside President Trump on trips, at public events, doesn't matter. She's there. Attention, though, grew on Natalie after Georgia Democratic Senator John Ossoff recently mentioned Harp on August 16th, about 4 days ago, at a campaign rally. He was there and he was criticizing the president, saying that the president didn't want to, quote, do the job. He was saying, in essence, Trump didn't really want to perform the duties of the president, and he accused the president of, quote, wanting to build his ballroom and travel with Natalie rather than focus on governing. So when the senator made that comment, travel with Natalie, I guess that's when also a lot of this attention turned to her. I'll get back to like the one little thing that I'm probably most amazed at with the human printer. Let's talk about that though real quick of this gal. If you haven't seen her, they call her a human printer because she carries a legit actual portable printer with her as she's following the president wherever he goes. A portable printer, a backpack, battery packs, printed news articles, emails, social media posts. I mean, whatever she can carry to have with her, that's what they say she does, because she constantly wants to be prepared to give Donald Trump whatever he could potentially try to ask for. I mean, I guess that's the personal assistant part of the gig. You know, you're there, he needs something, snap of a finger, you deliver. So doing her job, it seems. She also reportedly helps operate Donald Trump's social accounts. So his Truth Social account, typing, posting messages based on Trump's instructions. That's Natalie. And she first met the president back in 2019. She was diagnosed with stage 2 bone cancer and became a critic of the American health medical system, went on Fox and Friends on Fox News and praised Trump's Federal Right to Try Act, where she credited the president and his policies with giving her another treatment option for her stage 2 bone cancer. They somehow met after that. Now she's got a gig, which that story alone is impressive. You know, just by commenting, getting on TV and saying something kind about a person doesn't always lead to a job, such as now you're day in, day out, tag teaming right there with the free world's biggest, strongest leader. So impressive all the way. More impressive, though, this is a little nugget that I saw in trying to read up a little bit on the human printer, find out who this chick was that just started popping up everywhere. Recently, I feel like I was one of the first here, so I'm just going to keep patting myself on the back. I've got a bruise back there, I think, doing this, but I felt like I was one of the first around the new Air Force One plane that was gifted to the United States by Qatar. I think I just was one of those guys out there, a voice in the wilderness, you might say, crying out, saying, "This is strange. We're just gifted a billions dollars worth of aircraft." Very kind gesture, but have we done our checks on all this to make sure everything is I's dotted, T's crossed, ready to rock and roll for the President of the United States to hop on and fly? Not much time later, that's when controversy arose. They had to sneak the president off of that Air Force One aircraft, put him on a catering service truck, sneak him onto just like a unidentified C-32A Air Force type plane and whisk him away, while everybody else, the Trojan horse was the old Air Force One aircraft. Everybody was looking over here because of a threat from Iran. Meanwhile, the president, he was over there, safe and sound. The tactics to that, I don't hate it. The fact that there were journalists and others that were unaware that this was how it was playing out, that's the risk of being a journalist and following the president. I mean, it's not like this is a commercial airliner and you're hopping on to go to Bora Bora. I mean, you got to realize there are risks that come with following the president, being with him. It's not like he hasn't been threatened and even attempted to be assassinated before. You got to know that going in. So I don't hate any of that. Well, guess who else happened to be whisked away with the president at that time? While there were some people in the administration left on the actual Air Force One plane, the human printer, Natalie Harp, she happened to be among a very small group of aides selected to leave with the president aboard the other aircraft. And that was when other senior officials were left aboard the decoy aircraft. So I don't know. I don't want to speculate here. I don't know if also Caroline Leavitt's resignation from the job or asking to, spend more time with her family comes maybe at the same, we'll say, controversial timing of all of this around Natalie Harp. I don't think that's a fair speculation at the moment. I certainly wouldn't be the guy that would know if that was the case. But interesting. So if you've seen this blonde chick following the president very closely, she's popping up all over the images. It's Natalie. She's just a personal assistant chasing around Donald Trump with an actual printer in her arms. We'll come back here. When we do, we're going to do rifled headlines. Get you the latest and greatest in what everybody else is talking about out there. It's the Triad Talk Network, and we are the Daily Pulse.
Don't miss the game everyone's been talking about. It's your town, your team, your Jerry Hunt Supercenter High School Football Game of the Week.
We got to win that area, and we can't have turnovers on offense.
Jerry Hunt Supercenter, the king of pre-owned vehicles in Lexington and Salisbury.
Steps out of the tackle, he'll go all the way.
The Jerry Hunt Supercenter High School Football Game of the Week is powered in part by Heritage Hardwood Floors. Strong floors, strong teams, strong communities. By the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds, home of the Carolina Classic Fair, October 2nd through 11th. By Tar Heel Basement Systems, a groundworks company, trusted and certified to repair your crawl space. And by Black Sand Company, proud to support hometown football.
This is definitely a big game, and it's a lot of fun.
The Jerry Hunt Supercenter High School Football Game of the Week, heard exclusively on WSJS and WSJS.com.
Looking for fun for the whole family? Join Charlotte FC to celebrate Kids Rule Night on August 22nd when the Crown faces DC United. Start off the night with a pre-match party complete with food trucks, interactive games, special community activations, and more. Plus, get the chance to take home a limited edition Sir Minty Pillow plush. Secure your tickets now at charlottefootballclub.com/tickets today.
Biscuit King in High Point and Lexington serves enormous, delicious, award-winning biscuits. Made from scratch and filled up with whatever you like best. Today's special is a country ham biscuit for only $3.29. Biscuit King. Delivery and online ordering available through BiscuitKingLex.com.
Child abuse is not a bad parent problem.
Keeping families out of crisis in the first place
is how we prevent it from ever happening.
Go to preventchildabuse.org and
let's solve child abuse before it ever happens.
Bad take? You'll hear about it. Bad performance? Somebody's getting called out. And if you think you can walk into the jungle without taking a little heat, think again.
Listen, I don't want you write-in beefers to have a beef that you don't ever read our beefs, Rome.
The Jim Rome Show brings you passionate sports talk, big opinions, legendary guests, and debates with absolutely no shortage of intensity. There are no free passes. The Jim Rome Show, this afternoon at 3 on WSJS.
Amplifying the voices of the Triad with news, perspective, and community at the core. This is the Daily Pulse with Stephen Back.
What's up? It's Beck here, back again with you. We'll get to some headlines, more stuff for you in a second. Actually, we'll also have your latest from SRN News coming up at the top of the hour. Next hour, also looking forward to have Sam Farber join us. He's the voice, the play-by-play voice of the Charlotte Hornets. They got rid of LaMelo Ball, Miles Bridges. They have a schedule release that just came out. The NBA here, last week, I think we were talking about, like Christmas Day is huge for a lot of sports fans this year, which I think there's going to be a lot of wives that end up very angry at the end of that day. Honey, you're supposed to be taking pictures of the kids and me. We're opening presents. We're doing this. And I foresee just some dudes locked in. Got NFL games mixed with NBA matchups that day. Family, it might be the best thing, actually, for some family dynamics. You got in-laws over and all that kind of stuff. And the husband just kind of slinks away. He's off somewhere, probably staring at a TV. But anyways, so we'll have Sam on in just a bit to talk about some of those top storylines. Coming up also this winter, around that same time, people will be full into hockey season as well. And the Twin City Thunderbirds partnering up with us here on TriadTalkNetwork.com. And Triad Talk Network, super exciting. They're one of our affiliate programs. You can find their affiliate page over on TriadTalkNetwork.com. And some of the things that you'll find there soon as well is Beck and Boots. Coach Boots, I should say. I'm definitely not the coach, but Boots is going to be joining me, Beck, on this show, I think Mondays and Fridays, to recap and also look ahead to what's happening out on the ice for the Thunderbirds. Their season ticket packages on sale now. They have as few as 8-game season plans all the way up to the full season. You can go and buy those now at tcbirds.com. And we're looking forward to the hockey season where on TriadTalkNetwork.com, you can watch all Twin City Thunderbirds games right there on their affiliate page at TriadTalkNetwork.com. Let's get everybody some rifled headlines, Christian.
The Daily Pulse Rifled Headlines. Firing off stories faster than a speeding bullet.
Number 5.
All right, number 5. MLB may have a new replay controversy, this time at the foul pole. The Orioles were furious Wednesday night after a Pete Onslow drive was ruled foul, with the call surviving review despite video that the Baltimore Orioles believe showed otherwise. It's already creating a bigger question. If the MLB is using technology to help call balls and strikes, should it also have better tech for fouls at the foul poles?
I think that's a fair question. I don't know that anybody was watching. That is that big of a controversy, sadly. Like I saw the other night, what was those two teams? Was it the Mariners, I think it was? That was the final score was like 22-0 or some 20-some crazy amount of runs. And you hardly hear about that kind of stuff. So this this supposed controversy. I don't think it's that big, but it is a good question. If you're going to go and do the tech for one element of the game, balls and strikes, which it's worked out decently well, I think, then why not have a better angle where you're not just relying on one or two people's eyes, or if the camera catches it, it's not from a good spot. Yeah, they need to fix that.
Number 4.
All right, NASA's first ever Space Telescope rescue mission has failed. NASA tried something it had never attempted before, sending a robot spacecraft to grab the aging Swift Observatory and push it into higher orbit. Problems stabilizing the rescue spacecraft forced the mission to be abandoned, however, meaning Swift is eventually expected to fall back to Earth and burn up in our atmosphere.
Yeah, it was worth a shot, I guess.
Yeah.
Didn't go the right way, but I wonder if is that Elon Musk? Did it say?
It doesn't say. It
SpaceX?
just says NASA.
Oh, NASA. Yeah, well, leave it to Elon. If it was Elon and SpaceX, they would have gotten that right.
Number 3.
All right, Post Malone is engaged, supposedly. Post Malone and Christy Lee are reportedly to be engaged, with photos circulating of Lee wearing a massive diamond ring during what appears to have been an engagement celebration recently. Neither has formally been announced, but friends have been sharing the news publicly, so we'll see.
I like Post Malone, especially when he started doing crossovers. Did some really good ones for a couple years there. They're on my favorites playlist. If he is engaged and it hasn't been announced, if it's not Facebook official, fair question?
Fair question.
No. I'm just kidding. That doesn't matter. Who cares, man? If they're engaged, great. Good for them. Doesn't have to be announced to the world. Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce.
Number 2.
All right. Harry and Meghan are moving back to Britain. 6 years after leaving the royal family for California, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have reportedly planned to relocate back to the UK this month. They remain non-working royals, however, but the move comes as Harry's relationship with King Charles appears to be thawing. So we'll have to see.
Yeah, that's another storyline. Dude, the royal family, they put their pants on 2 legs at a time, just like I do. I mean, one. Yeah, I'm just kidding.
You just jump in.
Yeah, they're normal people. Like, what is the deal? Why do people love royal gossip? The Crown, that show. Did you watch that?
I've heard of it, but no, I'm not going to spend my time.
You're not a Crownie?
No,
yeah, okay, me neither. Whatever. Let them do their thing, I guess. But good for them. Move home, do your thing. I won't worry about you. Whatever's happening. While some people will.
Yep, absolutely. Unfortunately, we'll have to go into our break, Stephen, and then we'll have to get back to Rifled Headlines.
Yeah, I think that's what the song meant there. I got you. I'm with you. Thank you, though, in case I didn't catch that. We'll get number 1 in here sometime. When we do come back, Sam Farber's going to be with us the next hour, and plus a whole lot more. Stay with us. Another hour ahead here on WSJS.
Hello again, App State fans. I'm Matt Present, and this is your Mountaineer Minute. App State soccer earned its first victory of the season on Sunday, defeating Campbell 3-1 behind a second-half brace from Libby Birmingham. The team is back in action on Thursday as it hosts Western Carolina at 6 o'clock. App State volleyball and App State field hockey round out their preseason play this week. Volleyball travels to ETSU for an exhibition on Tuesday, while field hockey hosts Liberty in exhibition play Saturday at 2 o'clock. And the App State women's golf team gets its fall season underway on Monday as the team plays at Quail Hollow in the Truist Championship Summit. The team returned 6 of 7 players from a year ago, highlighted by NCAA regional qualifier Zoe Duvall. We are less than 3 weeks away from game day at The Rock. App State football opens on September 5th with a gold out against Maine, kickoff at 3:30. With your Mountaineer Minute, I'm Matt Present.
Sales Spectacular going on now at Jerry Hunt Super Center.
Why are you talking like that?
My boy sells cars.
You're telling me that saying we have over 900 like-new vehicles in stock, priced very fair because at Jerry Hunt, we buy more, we sell more, and more importantly, you save more is not as good as you saying it?
Well?
See, no need for that.
But!
No, stop.
Jerry Hunt Super Center, North Carolina's home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
You just don't listen, do you?
Every time we see someone find a place to call home, a warm bed, and a fresh start, our hearts fill with hope. Whatever fills you with hope, it all starts with Partners Ending Homelessness. They connect people with essential services and housing solutions because everyone deserves a chance to thrive. Help build a vibrant community. Visit PEHGC.org to learn more about how you can help end homelessness in Guilford County. Together, we can build homes and hope. That's PEHGC.org.
Sometimes work takes more than just getting an answer. That's where ChatGPT Work comes in. It's a way of working for bigger multi-step projects. It can connect to the tools where work happens, stay with the task from start to finish, and turn a goal into finished work. Preparing for an important meeting, ChatGPT can build a polished brief. Put ChatGPT to work on your most ambitious ideas and projects. Get started. ChatGPT.com, selecting work mode. Available on Plus and Pro plans.
We're rocking the talk.
Welcome home.
WSJS Winston-Salem, Greensboro, High Point, Burlington. Online at WSJS.com.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
A Gain Scent Bead story. Jim was at the laundromat when he heard his ear said, "Maraca, senor," but his nose said, "Hey, freshest scent ever." Following his nose, Jim found a man pouring a bottle of Gain Scent Beads into the washer. The scent, the freshness. Jim blurted, "Sir, your scent maraca smell amazing." Actually, Jim, most noses call them Gain Scent Beads. Try Gain Scent Beads, way fresher than detergent alone.
Piedmont Triad area weather. Abundant sunshine coming our way for today. That afternoon high right around 93. Throughout this evening and into the overnight hours, it looks like we will have a system ushering in scattered thunderstorms, and some of these may produce some heftier rain. Overnight low at 70. On and off again, chances for showers with thunderstorms possible by Friday afternoon into Friday night. An active time here at our Friday high backing down into the upper 80s. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Naramore. For News Talk Sports for the Triad, WSJS.
Championships, controversy, trades, free agency, and the moments that have everyone talking.
I think he was traded more times than any other player in history or played on more teams.
The biggest athletes and personalities in sports. Join Dan Patrick for conversations you don't want to miss. Add sharp opinions, plenty of laughs, and the Dinettes, and you've got the perfect way to get your sports fix.
Were you not listening?
I wasn't. I was looking
The Dan Patrick Show tonight 6 till 9 on WSJS.
Because of you, I dread every creak and groan. Because of you, my mornings start with noise and frustration. It's all because of you that I can enjoy a peaceful moment.
It's time to silence the chaos with Precision Garage Door. Regain control over your garage with 10% off any garage door repair. They ensure a quieter, safer garage. Plus, you get 10% off your garage door repair. Open, close, relax at PrecisionDoorNC.com. That's PrecisionDoorNC.com.
The Daily Pulse, where you feel the rhythm of the Triad. Back to the Daily Pulse with Stephen Back.
That's right. Back now on the Triad Talk Network with Beck here on the Daily Pulse. And man, we're in football season, really, but in a basketball frame of mind this morning with an announcement made yesterday at what I'll always call it the Greensboro Coliseum. I don't care if it's First Horizon or whatever else. That is it's what it is in my heart. So that's what it's going to be with me. And with this announcement yesterday, we'll revisit in a second. I think you could love on it all that you can, and I do. But let's take it even a step further. That's what I would say to it. Coming up here this hour, we also are going to talk more hoops with Sam Farber. He is the play-by-play voice for the Charlotte Hornets, and they got some really intriguing games coming up this season. They've been really busy during the offseason. I'm interested in hearing what Sam says are some of his top storylines, and also what games he's most looking forward to as we get into the next NBA season ahead. Also, there was one little story here that it's little just because of the state that it happened in, but I've been right where it happened. I've been there. I've driven by there. I've stayed there for a good amount of time. I'm glad I wasn't there this day that this happened. So that's coming up for you as well. First, though, let's get you your latest headlines. NC State's been chosen to lead military textile initiatives that the Defense Department selected the Wolfpack to lead Future Techs, a proposed decade-long collaboration involving universities, community colleges, nonprofits, and other manufacturers working alongside of the military. In Anson County, they are searching now for their fourth elections director. Interim elections director Gerald Poplin resigned for medical reasons. The county has lost 3 previous directors in 2026. The State Board of Elections meets today to consider separate complaints against County Elections Board members Ross Streeter, who denies allegations that he threatened and insulted staff. And the weather is another storyline today, as a heat advisory covers much of our state. Heat index as high as 100 degrees in some places. With that, of course, isolated strong storms in the evening. I think Friday, tomorrow afternoon, stands a better chance of significant rain, potentially localized flooding. And so with that, we'll also share high school football games in a lot of cases have been shifted already. I mean, what a way to start the season. It's their first games, and they're already having to kind of juggle some stuff. And that includes our high school football game of the week. Instead of Friday evening, that'll actually be on for you tonight. Coverage starting there, I think, around 6 o'clock. And tomorrow, we'll actually welcome in Dave Pulaski. He's the play-by-play voice for our high school football game of the week, presented on triadtalknetwork.com as well. You can follow along there throughout the season, and he'll be hanging out with us tomorrow to recap things. I saw this announcement. I had been waiting on really just somebody that could use a brain for a second to decide that this was a worthwhile choice, and that was to make NC State, UNC, a non-conference game, make a path forward to where these two teams can play each other in basketball twice a year. You add Cal, you add SMU, you add Stanford. I mean, that's the risk that you run is now, well, what are we going to do? How are we going to fit all these games into a schedule? It means that you can only play some teams once a year. Math is math. There it is. So I don't love that this was lost due to the conference realignment and expansion. I understand how all this stuff happens, and I don't think it's over yet, by the way. But what I don't understand is it doesn't take a rocket scientist to realize your regional, your in-state matchups are the ones that probably are going to fare the best out of anything. There are some significant games to be played. If you get a Duke and a UConn on a neutral site floor, that's going to be a draw. But I would argue if you're going to get a Stanford at a PNC against, or Lenovo, excuse me, everybody's sponsorships at all these arenas keep changing around. But if you get a Stanford at Lenovo against NC State in basketball, that's not going to move the needle a whole lot. People want to see the closest teams, the rivals, play one another. And I love it. I think for just the inner office dynamics of talking and people sharing time together while they work, this hits. I think for the family dynamics where one of your cousins went to NC State, the other one went to Chapel Hill, and you're hanging out at Christmas and Thanksgiving and everybody's talking some ball and enjoying the sports conversation around these rivals, that hits. These games go way, 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 way back. The last time that they had only played one time was 1919, and you're just going to all of a sudden just throw that out like it's insignificant trash? That's kind of the way it was treated until finally, I don't know who it was. Maybe it was a state lawmaker. I even heard some murmurs that it took that to get this to happen, and that is the fact that NC State, UNC, they're going to play a non-conference game in addition to the conference game that was already scheduled. And it's going to take place in Greensboro. And I love every bit of it. And it's going to be especially warm, welcoming homecoming, if you will, for NC State coach Justin
It'll
Gainer.
be special. It'll be like a home game for me. It'll be a home game for me. I get to get back home and be in the Greensboro Coliseum. First Horizon Coliseum. That's going to take some getting used to. But it's special. It's special. I have so many memories of this place, in this place, ACC history, as a fan, as a player, and now embark on history and memories as a coach. So yeah, it is special.
So now with this move, doesn't again take somebody with a special brain to figure it out, but you get 2 times UNC, NC State actually get to meet. You'll get 2 meetings for UNC and Duke because that's their annual home and home kind of rival choice that the ACC gave them. And I'm not here to bash that. That's the right move. UNC and Duke, they need to play twice. NC State and Wake, they need to play twice. And that's going to happen because the new system with 18 ACC basketball members. But how about we take this one more step further? If it was a state lawmaker that made this Tobacco Road Classic be a thing, then it can be one more step even further. Let's just bring back the Big Four. That's what I say. Get all of these schools, Wake, Duke, NC State, and UNC in the Greensboro Coliseum. That is their MTE. Their annual MTE is this Big Four Classic, and they go at it. And I would think, unless all of those schools just bottom out all at the same time, which I don't think that is a possibility at all, then I think this is an instant classic, sellout type arena, TV coverage. It's a win. If everybody's worried about the money, there's the money. Easy. Also, if you're worried about money, easy, because I'm giving you 50% off your lunch choice today over at Ballsy Beulah's. Well, Ballsy Beulah's is really gifting it. They're wanting me to share it with you, and you go there, or you can order online, and they'll give you a sandwich combo for 50% off if you just use their code word radio. All natural chicken, no preservatives in it. Big old slab piece of meat on a fresh Copain Bakery bun. I like mayo. You don't have to have it that way, but they use Duke's. Only the best, right? Homemade pickles, and all for half off. Order online today. Go into Ballsy Beulah's. Tell them we sent you there. You don't have to. You can just use the code word radio to get 50% off. We're in the midst of the FedEx Cup playoffs, and in the midst of that, Scotty Scheffler probably going to dominate again this weekend. They're top 30 guys now, or excuse me, it's top 50 this weekend, looking to move into the top 30 before we get to the FedEx Cup Championship a week away from this weekend. And Scotty Scheffler came to the mic yesterday, but so did Rory McIlroy. They were asked about more of the LIV downfall. CEO for LIV, Scott O'Neill, was at the microphone himself yesterday and was asked a ton of questions, only tried to steer things in a biased direction that you would assume your CEO probably would. So that's just the gig that he's doing right now. But we had shared here, even on the Daily Pulse, that Jon Rahm considering. I've heard it both ways now. So I've heard it like, yeah, he's worked out a deal where he's back on the PGA Tour, and I've heard it where, no, that's not really necessarily official yet. But he's been more or less on the disgruntled side of the LIV meltdown than most of these other guys anyway. So I'd like to think he's trying to work it out where he can be back on the PGA Tour. So, of course, they're going to ask these guys these questions. Two very contrasting answers from both of them. First up, Rory, on what he thinks about these LIV guys potentially coming back to the tour.
Rory, Scotty was asked about the possibility of LIV guys coming back and whether they bring value, in your opinion. Are there guys, if it goes away, that should be allowed back?
I mean, I'd argue, have they brought value to LIV? I think PGA Tour is in a really good spot.
All right, Bob.
All right. And then you got Scotty Scheffler.
When we talk about the best players, LIV has a few players that are really good. I think the depth that we have on our tour is a bit unmatched, but I think when you look at the higher levels of LIV golf, there's definitely some players that would provide, a lot of value to the tour, and guys that I love competing against as well. And so I think going forward, there obviously has to be, I think, some sort of penalties. What those are, I'll let Roll Up and all those guys figure it out. We have great leadership within the tour now, but I think having those guys come back and competing with whatever happens with LIV, whether those guys want to leave or, you got to ask them. But I think for me, being able to compete against the best players in the world, there's certainly some guys on that tour that can compete out here. And, I look forward to the chance to compete with them more often.
Now, if you've not been with us before, then this may surprise you, but if you have, then it wouldn't. And that is, I'm siding here with world number one. I'm siding with Scotty Scheffler on this one. And I think it's very easy to see the contrast, well, not only between their remarks on this, but it's easy to see the contrast between these two guys to begin with. You got one golfer who really, I don't think he really has ever come across as kind of chauvinistic or look at me. I mean, he is just family man, playing a game that he loves, performing at otherworldly results. Like, we've only ever seen this a couple times before in golf, and many of the questions still for much of the season around Scotty Scheffler have been, what's wrong with that guy? Until he won this last weekend, it's like, well, he's having a down year. I don't really think that's been the case. I think he's been playing really solid golf. Statistically, he's right in line with where he has been in the past. It's just he hasn't been winning the tournament. He's been coming up second. I think it's 5 runner-up finishes that he's had this year. And then, on the other hand, you got Rory McIlroy, who we really shouldn't be surprised that he's negative Nan with his comments on this, because, I mean, that was your poster child guy who had to stand there when all the original LIV PGA Tour debate controversy started falling out. That was the poster child standing out front, scratching, clawing to fight for the PGA Tour against LIV, and admirably so. I appreciate, that stance that he gave then. But to stand up today and say, yeah, have they really done much for LIV? No, they haven't, Roy, because no one really bought into LIV to begin with. It was a farce from the get-go. Circus sideshow to start with. You can't hand pluck a handful of guys. You get a couple winners there, but you get mostly retreads. Plop them out over there. Not have TV coverage for 3/4 of the first season of LIV. Have this strange, weird team dynamic that doesn't really even make sense to the tournaments. Play music, blasting that out, have it be a big old party tour, and expect serious golf fans to really embrace it. I don't care who. If Rory was over there, it'd be the same exact story. Ain't nobody care in the world, bro. You go right over there and you do that. You got Bryson, you got John. You say exactly what Scotty said there. That's bring them back. They're some of the world's best. I want to play the world's best. I'm not, hey, look at me, hungry for attention like Rory McIlroy seems to always be, and he's jealous and in his feels about this. He needs to worry about actually showing up to tournaments and playing instead of taking 3 quarters of the year off and now not really being competitive at all. We'll take a break here. We come back. I'll try to claw it out of Christian, that one last rifled headline. But also, we got something fishy happening in a couple places. Stay with us. Daily Pulse back on the Triad Talk Network.
Get ready for a huge night of country hits with Luke Bryan.
Hunting, fishing, loving every day.
Luke Bryan brings the Word on the Street tour to True Lion Amphitheater, Charlotte, Saturday, August 22nd.
And all my friends say.
And he's rolling in with an all-star lineup. Drew Baldridge, Randall King, Zach John King, and DJ Rock.
And then a country song came on.
Listen to WSJS for your chance to win tickets and enter online at WSJS.com.
The Carolina Classic Fair is coming. Get ready to spin, drop, and scream your heart out. Loaded with over 50 family rides and games that will keep your heart racing. Feel the rush of the coasters. Test your skills at the Midway Games. And if you're lucky, watch the nightly fireworks from the top of the giant wheel. It's red, white, and woo for the whole family. The pre-sale on weekday ride wristbands is happening now. Save $5 in advance by purchasing today. The Carolina Classic Fair, red, white, and woo!
Back to school means back to prayer, and there's a great prayer for our youngsters right there in the good book.
This is True Commentary with Stu Epperson, author and host of Truth Talk Live.
2 Thessalonians chapter 3, those first 5 verses offer an amazing prayer for our kids. We have the opportunity to put power behind our youngsters, to cover them in prayer. Prayer is so powerful. Why? Because God is so powerful. At first, Paul says, pray that the word of God would move swiftly and have an impact. We are ambassadors carrying the word. Faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the word of God. Our kids are to be witnesses, and we are behind them praying for that, and also that they would be protected from evil, protected from wicked. There's also a defensive covering of prayer that we are to pray. It's all in those first 5 verses of 2 Thessalonians chapter 3. Pray it and watch this be the best back to school ever for our youngsters as lives are changed by their witness.
Join Stu on radio, social media, and his daily Truth Talk Live podcast. Learn more at truthnetwork.com.
This hour of conversation is brought to you in part by Crossroads Ford in Kernersville, the Ford store that gives you more, just off I-40 on Highway 66.
Drive it, love it.
CrossroadsFordKernersville.com.
Thanks to your support, the nonprofits VetTix and First Tix have given away tens of millions of tickets and counting to America's heroes. Got extra tickets to concerts, games, or special events? Or want to see if you qualify? Go to vettix.org and firsttix.org today.
Sometimes work takes more than just getting an answer. That's where ChatGPT Work comes in. It's a way of working for bigger multi-step projects. It can connect to the tools where work happens, stay with the task from start to finish, and turn a goal into finished work. Preparing for an important meeting? ChatGPT can build a polished brief. Put ChatGPT to work on your most ambitious ideas and projects. Get started. ChatGPT.com, selecting work mode, available on Plus and Pro plans.
Bringing the triad to life through engaging talk, local insight, and meaningful conversations. This is the Daily Pulse with Stephen Back.
Lots of conversation had about the Panthers and their joint practice with the Jaguars yesterday. I don't know how you lose a practice, but the Panthers seemingly did that from all reports I was reading. We'll have some Panthers talk tomorrow leading up to that preseason matchup with the Jaguars tomorrow evening at 7:30. We'll have some high school recap conversation from our own Dave Pulaski on the Daily Pulse tomorrow morning when he helps us recap tonight's high school matchup. If you're interested in what games we're going to be broadcasting throughout the season, all you got to do is go over to triadtalknetwork.com, find the high school sports page, and our latest schedule will be there on the site for you. Reagan at Mount Tabor, this weekend's matchup. That game going to be broadcast for you tonight, and I think coverage is going to start around 6 due to incoming potential for rain tomorrow night. Hope it doesn't rain, because I think this Kyle Busch Invitational out at Bowman Gray is really a special thing, and I'd hate to see that get rained out or something. I saw a report that NASCAR had even sent in the drying trucks down to Bowman Gray. They don't usually have them there on site all the time, but NASCAR kind of sent them down to help with not only Friday night's event, but then Saturday's into the season finale there, just to try to get them through whatever weather we might see. So hopefully things work out for them there. Something fishy happening. We'll try to get to that in a second. First, though, we had one last rifled headline. Christian, what do you got for us?
Number 1.
All right, so Nick Kyrgios suspended after testing positive for cocaine. Former Wimbledon finalist Nick Kyrgios has been provisionally suspended after testing positive for a cocaine metabolic at a tournament in Malacora. Kyrgios called it a huge mistake, accepting responsibility, however, and he says he will step away from public life while the case is reviewed.
Dude, did he go to Penn State?
I'm not aware.
That's a joke, dude. That's a joke, man. Whiteouts at Penn State and State College, that's a whole different deal for college football this year. No, I usually hear athletes testing positive for some type of banned substance. I mean, that is an illegal banned substance. So kind of caught me by surprise there. Something real fishy going on. I don't know that we have tons of time here because we want to take a break. We want to get to Sam Farber. He's the play-by-play man for the Charlotte Hornets, going to be joining us next year on the Daily Pulse. But yesterday, I saw a report that in Gibsonville, 250 dead fish just washed up on shore there at Northeast Park. And it's part of the Reedy Fork Creek area where I've never been out this way. Christian, you ever been to this Reedy Fork Creek, Gibsonville area?
I don't think so.
I haven't either. I'm a guy that likes to go fishing. This is apparently an area that they advertise. Guilford County says that it's a great place for bass, for catfish, for crappie, brim, panfish, Well, somebody was walking on a nearby trail and just came upon the creek there where everything is stanky. I mean, just awful fish smell. And then had to report to Wildlife Commission that there's over 100 dead fish just littered in this area. WFMY out of Greensboro reporting that it was roughly 250, but I think I saw that the wildlife people were like, well, it's part of a creek, so the water's moving. So even some of the ones that did die, like we can't keep track of that because they could have just washed downstream somewhere. What could it be? They're saying potentially low oxygen could be as bad as like a chemical spill, disease, something else in there, but they've sent off some tests to try to figure this out. I don't know. We are excited to welcome in Sam Farber from the Hornets team, play-by-play man, to share with us maybe some of the biggest storylines for this next upcoming Hornets season. Stay with us on the Daily Pulse.
Don't miss the game everyone's been talking about. It's more than football. It's Friday night. It's your town, your team, your Jerry Hunt Supercenter High School football game of the week.
We got to win that area, and we can't have turnovers on offense.
Jerry Hunt Supercenter, the king of pre-owned vehicles in Lexington and Salisbury.
Steps out of the tackle. He'll go all the way.
The Jerry Hunt Supercenter High School football game of the week is powered in part by Clemens Carpet, supporting champions on and off the field, by Bobo's Deli and Grill. Big games, big appetites. Bobo's has you covered. And by Southside Building Center. Quality materials, trusted brands, Friday Night Pride.
This is definitely a big game, and it's a lot of fun.
Hear the showdowns live, along with coaches' interviews. And Dave Pulaski breaks down the games each week. The Jerry Hunt Supercenter High School football game of the week. Heard exclusively on WSJS and WSJS.com.
Piedmont Triad area weather. Abundant sunshine coming our way for today. That afternoon high right around 93. Throughout this evening and into the overnight hours, it looks like we will have a system ushering in scattered thunderstorms, and some of these may produce some heftier rain. Overnight low at 70. On and off again, chances for showers with thunderstorms possible by Friday afternoon into Friday night. An active time here at our Friday high backing down into the upper 80s. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Naramore. For News Talk Sports for the Triad, WSJS.
Good morning, High Point, Greensboro, Winston-Salem, and all the Triad. Stay tuned for news you need and weather you trust on WSJS, the Triad's leader in news and weather updates at the top and bottom of the hour. Your next updates are here in less than a minute, thanks to Logan Heating and Cooling, your total comfort specialist since 1952. From breaking news to breaking clouds, we've got you covered. Your world, your weather, right now. From WSJS and Logan Heating and Cooling.
They cool your summers, they warm your winters. Logan Heating and Cooling bring comfort to your home. They're the trusted hands behind every cozy moment. From sunny days to frosty nights, Logan Heating and Cooling ensures your home is just right. Since 1952, they've been the choice for families and businesses alike. Licensed experts in HVAC, electrical, and more. Your comfort is their climate. Visit Logan Heating and Cooling in Winston-Salem. Online at loganhvac.com.
The Rundown on Triad Talk Network. Christian brings you the best local events in the area. Check out the Rundown blog each week on TriadTalkNetwork.com. It's the Rundown.
The Triad's heartbeat every day. Your daily connection to the heart, hustle, and headlines of the Triad.
Feel your heartbeat in electric chair.
Back to the Daily Pulse with Stephen Back, where you feel the rhythm of the Triad.
We are back now on the Daily Pulse. Excited to welcome in Sam Farber, who's play-by-play man for the Charlotte Hornets. Sam, what's up, man? How are you?
Steve, doing great. It's back to school day here down in Charlotte, so that's a big day for us parents, of course, and a big day for the kids as well. And we're creeping up on the NBA season, now less than 2 months away. So delighted to be talking to you and all our great fans up in the Triad.
Yeah, I want to see back to school photos for you, Sam, when it is like opening night for the Hornets. I think it's October 21st or something like that. I want to see those back to school photos. We've actually been talking quite a few hoops this morning here on the Daily Pulse with a big announcement made in our area yesterday. UNC and NC State going to get a big-time matchup as a non-conference game at the Greensboro Coliseum. But looking at this schedule, I feel like you have to be pretty excited. I mean, there's some big games aligned already and announced for the upcoming schedule for the Hornets. What do you like? Like, what's your top matchup? Is it you're just antsy to get to opening night, that 21st game against Brooklyn? You'll be on the road for that one, or is it the home opener? What do you like the most?
Well, for sure. I mean, opening day, particularly the home opener on October 23rd, a Friday night against a rival in Atlanta, that's going to be a really exciting game. But, for me, when I try and look at the schedule, I try and take the perspective of a fan. So as a fan, you want to see the big names. You want to see Victor Wembanyama. You want to see the defending champion New York Knicks. You want to see Cooper Flagg, those kinds of guys. Steph Curry, of course, coming back to the Carolinas. But then the other perspective I use is I'm a parent. And so I've got young kids. They sometimes can't make it to a 7 p.m. tip time because bedtime gets in the way. So I look for those day games as well. And what I think is really special about this schedule is there's so many opportunities to accomplish both. For instance, February 15th, it's President's Day. We've got a noon tip-off with the Minnesota Timberwolves coming to town. That'll be LaMelo Ball's return to Charlotte. December 31st, it's New Year's Eve, but don't worry, we're not going to make you wait till midnight. Tip-off is 1 p.m. against the San Antonio Spurs. So Victor Wembanyama, you can have a full day of hoops festivities. The ball goes up at Spectrum Center, and then the ball drops at midnight. And then, several other games that kind of fit that mold. Dallas, who will be in town on February 13th. That's a Saturday, 3 p.m. tip time. So these are more family-friendly tip times, but they're also great matchups with big stars to take on the Hornets.
Sam Farber, play-by-play man for the Hornets, on with us here, the Daily Pulse. Sam, you had mentioned one of those games, Feb 15th, LaMelo Ball coming back to Charlotte. That's a huge storyline going into this next year. What kind of welcome do you think the Hornets faithful will have for him?
I think it's going to be amazing. Like LaMelo is one of one. He's a spectacular talent on the court. He is, there's no one like him. And he has been a fan favorite for a long time. And I don't begrudge any fan for feeling sad letting him go. Heck, the guy who traded him, Jeff Peterson, president of basketball operations, he doesn't love the fact that he doesn't get to see him every day because he's just this wonderful personality. But that doesn't mean that the trade wasn't in the best interest of the team long term. So I think he's going to get a really warm welcome. He is beloved by so many fans across the league and, of course, across the Carolinas. That is definitely going to be a hot ticket. So if that's the one that you've got circled on your calendar, I would act sooner rather than later to make sure you've got a seat inside Spectrum Center.
It'll take a while to actually have this one, but one of the ones that has to be, I think, looking ahead at the schedule, at least highlighted. I don't know if you want to circle it and highlight and do all the things, but the defending champs coming to the Queen City, March 26th. You got the Knicks in the house to play that game. Do you think they'll be as good as they were this last year defending their title?
So I don't see a reason for them to be worse than they were. Obviously, injuries could creep in. They were a fairly healthy team. But, they were a wonderful team in the playoffs, clearly a deserving champ. They were not the greatest team in the regular season. And the regular season is long and arduous, and sometimes teams can lose focus. So I think that the East is going to be really good. I think the Knicks are going to be really, really good. I'm not saying this to discount them, but are they going to be, a 65-win team? I kind of doubt that. But this is another one where it's kind of a quirk of the schedule. Most years we would see the Knicks come to town twice. This year they are only scheduled for one visit to Spectrum Center. They travel very well, so that's going to be another really hard ticket. And it's another one that just so happens to fall on a premium date, if you will. It's on a weekend or holiday. They come in on a Friday night, so a perfect opportunity for folks to drive down from the Triad and try and fend off any of those New Yorkers trying to come into town and pack Spectrum Center and root on the Hornets, who hopefully at that stage of the season are playing some really meaningful games, maybe jockeying with the Knicks for playoff position.
I was in I'd say the early parts of Steph Curry's career. I was somebody that believed in him well back into his Davidson times and followed him through of course, their magical NCAA tournament run. Then, of course, when he got to the NBA, it's a touch sad that he went way West Coast, and so sometimes for a guy like me here in North Carolina, it's hard to stay up late and see every bit of action that he has. But I know that I would be one of those local fans that's like, ooh, bring Steph back, get him home. And that's been, a discussion, at least a talking point in some circles during this offseason. Well, whether or not it happens that way, he is coming back to Charlotte February 5th with the Warriors. What do you make of that matchup?
Another premium date. It's another Friday night. I'm with you. I love Steph and getting to, work closely with his dad, Del Curry, and, get to know the family a little bit better is just a total joy. And seeing Del Curry honored last year and the joy on Steph's face and Seth's face and the whole family, it was a wonderful, wonderful day. So I in total agreement with you. He is a tremendous talent. And while he is still very much at the top of his game, he's still one of the 10, 20 best players in the world, no doubt about it. He's getting older. And so with all of these guys, I remember fondly as a younger person, the one chance I got to see Michael Jordan in person, and I'll always treasure that memory. And so for fans that have loved Steph for years and have seen him several times, or for fans who have loved Steph for years and never seen him before, that is most definitely a date I would circle when the Hornets host the Warriors Friday, February 5th, to come out and see him, because you never know how many opportunities you're going to get to see one of the Hall of Famers, the greats of the game, do what no one has ever done better.
There's a ton of storylines that we could pick at. We're looking at some of the marquee matchups on the schedule just announced last week. And I could say, okay, LaMelo Ball, big story for the Hornets. Miles Bridges, in his return game, a big story. Brandon Miller, Con Knippel still with the team, and how will they kind of move into this new leadership role and taking full reins and control of the organization? What for you, Sam, is like storylines that Hornets fans should be looking out for?
I think the emergence of Con Knippel and Brandon Miller, them stepping into a larger role, is really going to be one of the focal points of this team. Naz Reid and Kobe White, in relation to the start of the previous season, are certainly newer entities, but incredible talents. They're going to have huge roles. Both of them are accustomed to playing really meaningful basketball. But I think as we look at the roster, it seems to be shaping up for this to be Brandon Miller and Con Knippel, their team. And they were able to score near 20 points, or in Brandon's case, slightly above 20 points per game a season ago, without having unfettered access to all the shots. In Brandon's case, he had a pretty significant shoulder injury that sidelined him for 15 games, and he was wearing a wrap most of the season. So for him to score the way he did, maybe with one arm, is super impressive. For Con to do what he did, should have been Rookie of the Year, super impressive. And I'm excited to see them step into a bigger role and be able to play off one another. I think the fact that they're doing it as a tandem makes it really exciting as well, because how do you focus on one of these guys? Like, most teams have a premium defender. It's hard to find two. And if you have two, who did you just leave open? Did you leave Naz Reid open? Did you leave Kobe White open? So I think this team in the aggregate has a chance to be better than the one that we saw last season come thundering down the stretch and come within a game of making the playoffs.
Sam Farber, play-by-play for the Charlotte Hornets, with us here on WSJS. I don't want to get you in too much trouble here, but I heard you say it, so now I want to give you a forum to explain more. You think I assume you're on the side that Con should have been Rookie of the Year over Cooper Flagg.
1,000%. Like, I am not someone who thinks that ordinarily winning should factor in, but the fact that Cooper Flagg was, they were pretty public about what Dallas was doing. Their goal was for Cooper Flagg to score 50 points and the team to lose by 20. That was the goal for the last 2.5 months of the season for Dallas, and that's fine. I mean, they I guess accomplished what they wanted. They improved their draft status. They tanked their way into a better pick, and Cooper Flagg did win the award. But there's no question that Con Knippel played in more meaningful games. He rewrote the record book for threes in a rookie season and led the entire NBA in three-point shooting. So it is not a knock on Cooper Flagg at all. It's a celebration of everything Con Knippel did. And I'm firmly of the opinion that he should have won that one. But only one person gets it. Con and Cooper have a great friendship and relationship. And so I don't think there's any love lost, but not that Con needs any added motivation. But if he wants some, he's got some there.
Well said. I'm in agreement with you on that. I think you're right. Do you ever, Sam, get invited over for Miss Knippel's lasagna night or anything? They include you?
No, I didn't get the invite to that one. It looked like a scrumptious meal. Just a wonderful family. We see them around all the time. Mom and dad have they've got a full house at home, even without Con there. But we see them in Charlotte quite a bit, and just wonderful personalities. You can tell how Con became such a great person and a great member of our community, our hive here in Charlotte, beyond just his talent on the court.
Sam, thanks for jumping on this morning, giving us your time, looking ahead to the Hornets season as they get things underway in October on the road. Sam will be on the call, play-by-play there for Charlotte. And as we get a little bit closer, Sam, I'd love to get back up with you and actually start talking some results from some of these games.
I would love that. Hopefully it's a lot of wins. Really appreciate you guys and your support of the team and being a wonderful affiliate for us up in the Triad. Again, opening night is right around the corner, October 23rd at Spectrum Center. I know it's a little bit of a drive, but it's one worth making because we've got a great team in Charlotte and a great environment. And I'd also encourage fans, if you don't want to make that far of a drive, take a look at the Greensboro Swarm schedule. They were the champions of the G League last year. Congrats to them. You get a chance to see a lot of really young talents. Liam McNeely was there a bunch last year. Tijan Salon, 2 former first-round picks, and it's a championship product. And one thing I love about the G League, you can basically sit in the owner's seats. Like, you can be on the court for a reasonable price, and they are absolute phenoms, a lot of them out there. So it's a great experience. Definitely would love to see everyone in Charlotte, but make the trip over to the Greensboro Coliseum complex as well and see the Swarm.
We'll make sure Steve Swatoa gets you invited to their lasagna night since you missed out on Knippel's. So we appreciate it, Sam. Take it easy. Have a good day, man.
Appreciate you guys. Have a great one.
Absolutely. All right, we'll take our break. We come back. Well, a bear got into a North Carolinian's home, and, I'll say I don't love the end result to this. We'll try to share it with you next year on the Daily Pulse.
WSJS introduces the Triad Talk Network, your home for news, talk, sports, the best podcasts, and the teams you love.
Whether you're getting your morning started,
home from work,
catching the game,
or diving into today's biggest stories, the Triad Talk Network keeps you connected. Local voices, national perspectives, live sports, on-demand podcasts, one trusted destination, triadtalknetwork.com.
Sales Spectacular going on now at Jerry Hunt Super Center.
Why are you talking like that?
My boy sells cars.
You're telling me that saying we have over 900 like-new vehicles in stock, priced very fair because at Jerry Hunt, we buy more, we sell more, and more importantly, you save more is not as good as you saying it?
Well?
See, no need for that.
But!
No, stop.
Jerry Hunt Super Center, North Carolina's home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
You just don't listen, do you?
Looking for fun for the whole family? Join Charlotte FC to celebrate Kids Rule Night on August 22nd when the Crown faces DC United. Start off the night with a pre-match party complete with food trucks, interactive games, special community activations, and more. Plus, get the chance to take home a limited edition Sir Minty Pillow plush. Secure your tickets now at charlottefootballclub.com/tickets today.
Biscuit King in High Point and Lexington serves enormous, delicious, award-winning biscuits. Made from scratch and filled up with whatever you like best. Today's special is a country ham biscuit for only $3.29. Biscuit King. Delivery and online ordering available through BiscuitKingLex.com.
I was choosing alcohol over my family. That's when I made the call. Now I'm finding better ways to cope.
Mental health care works when you make the call. Visit mentalhealthcareworks.org. A message from the American Psychiatric Association Foundation.
Between endless meetings, tea times, and a desire to improve your swing, finding the perfect golf show can be a real challenge. Hi, my name is Jay Delsing. I'm a two-time All-American and a 25-year PGA Tour veteran. Join me Saturday mornings at 8 a.m. for celebrity guests, laughter, and tips to elevate your play. Golf with Jay Delsing. Hit the greens with us Saturday mornings at 8 a.m. on WSJS.
Come on out and play.
Back to the Daily Pulse with Stephen Back, where Triad News meets real talk, keeping you informed, engaged, and ahead of the day.
We've been talking a ton of basketball today. Thank goodness somebody's my hero and made it possible for NC State, UNC to get their 2 meetings in a year. And, man, our backyard of Greensboro has got some pretty significant events that I'm looking forward to going into the fall and winter times. One of the things I'm also looking forward to this fall is getting to High Point University basketball games as well. The Panthers, they've put together quite the schedule. We mentioned even Greensboro. One of the games that the Panthers are playing is against Miami of Ohio. That one's going to be, well, actually where the Swarm play at the Fieldhouse over in Greensboro. That's against a team that went undefeated in the regular season last year in the first of a home-and-home series that High Point signed up with Miami of Ohio. You can be there at that game if you get your High Point Panthers season tickets. Do that now. Tickets.highpointpanthers.com. Again, tickets.highpointpanthers.com. I'll see you there. You check out the Proud Panthers podcast, a part of TriadTalkNetwork.com as well. I don't love this story. I really don't. A bear entered into a home in Asheville, and now because someone tried to help the bear and got injured, now the North Carolina Wildlife Resources Commission has determined that that adult bear possesses a threat to human safety. And sometimes it's like, dude, a bear's just being a bear, just like a bison was a bison when it tossed a grandpa out at Yellowstone.
This scary incident caught on video during a family's visit to Yellowstone National Park this past Friday. Video begins with a 65-year-old man and his grandson standing near the animal taking photos. Then, without warning, the bison takes off after them. Family scrambled, but the animal caught up to the grandfather and threw him several feet into the air. The 65-year-old suffered serious injuries. Bison can weigh more than 1,500 pounds, and park officials say they repeatedly warn visitors not to approach them.
I mean, that's just a bison, like, doing his thing in Yellowstone. And I think actually that grandpa, kudos to him at 65, he survived. He lived to tell that tale. And actually, I think he said then, like, hey, you know, it's not the bison's fault. Like, we got too close. We were trying to take pictures. I mean, people in Yellowstone get way too close here. And in this bear's case in Asheville, the bear had 3 of its cubs playing on a patio. The door was unlocked to the home, so the bear just walked inside. And wildlife officials said the resident there got hurt, quote, trying to create an escape route for the bear. That's dumb. Now it's the bear's fault. I mean, like, get out of there. What are you trying to go and help the bear get an escape route for? It'll be okay. It's a bear. It'll figure it out. Just get out, leave the scene, move away. WBTV reports the person has since been released from the hospital. There weren't any life-threatening injuries here again. So I don't think there was like malicious intent on the bear. It kind of makes me a little upset. I'm not going to lie. One of the things that doesn't make me upset is when kids get involved in sports. I think it's great for them. And YMCA has their fall sports program that you can get your kids signed up for right now. Probably play basketball in there, since we've been talking a lot about basketball today. YMCA of Northwest North Carolina offers 13 branches where your kids can be a part of fall sports, be a part of a team, learn the game, develop some skills, have a lot of fun. I did it as a kid. I definitely encourage you to do the same with yours. If you want to sign up, you can go to any of those 13 branches, get the kids signed up, but you can also do it online. Their website, YMCA, nwnc.org/sports. Let me say that again, YMCA, NWNC/sports. Been a great couple of hours here this morning. We got 2 more for the week coming up tomorrow. You can join us 7 to 9. If you missed anything, of course, it's podcasted for you. It's over at triadtalknetwork.com. Plus, I'll say I'll be a busy man again on Saturday. Another 2 hours with you then. Waking Up Prowl. It starts at 9, goes to 11, so we all get a little chance to sleep in. On tomorrow's show, we'll look forward to the Panthers preseason game with the Jaguars. Hopefully they have a much better practice today than they did yesterday. We look forward to also having Dave Pulaski on tomorrow. We'll recap whatever happens in tonight's high school matchup, Tabor and Reagan. You can hear that here on WSJS, the radio part of Triad Talk Network.
Feel the